האורחים שלי.
מצאתי. בשר טלה?
ממי, אני רוצה טרי. וואי, טרי פה.
כן, זה נראה לי טוב. חבר, יש לך בשר טלה טרי?
אבל שיהיה טרי.
טלה, טרי! טרי בדרך.
אני תראה.
טרי. מה זה? טרי? לחלק או לארוז?
אתם לא באמת מופתעים. למעלה ממיליון ישראלים עשו את החיבור והפסיקו לאכול בעלי חיים.
Gender reveal party! It's a boy!
But after all the ballyhoo, does Fiesta actually give the motorist what he's looking for in the 70s? That's what we've set out to find out.
All over this country, people wake up in the morning and they're shaking their heads and they're saying, what is going on in our country? We are looking at a pandemic which has now taken over 190,000 lives.
Why are you not wearing a mask?
Because there's no COVID. It's a fake pandemic created to destroy the United States of America.
But the president said to Bob Woodward that there is a virus, the coronavirus, and that it is deadly.
That's his opinion. The truth is that the CDC said that only less than 10,000 people die from COVID. The other 190,000 have 2.6 or 2.8 other mortalities.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah,
it's just a little turnabout.
We're looking at an economic meltdown which has cost us tens of millions of jobs. People are struggling to put food on the table. They're worried about getting evicted. They don't have any health care. They're wondering how they're going to survive tomorrow.
Why are you guys not wearing masks? I have one with me. It's my prerogative. Yeah. Well, why not wear one to stay safe? I have a hard time understanding people when they talk, so that's why I don't wear it. But you can hear me right now? I can hear you.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah,
it's just a little turnabout.
We're looking at a situation where systemic racism reigns throughout this country, police brutality, and a need for real police and criminal justice reform. And then on top of all of that, turn on the TV and you see the west coast of the United States, some of the most beautiful land in our country, burning. Hundreds of thousands of acres are burning because of unprecedented climate change and the warming of the planet.
Flight with 2 young children in tow can be a challenge all on its own, but a Toronto family who set out to fly on the red eye this morning from Calgary says their WESTJET experience turned into a nightmare. Cell phone videos capture the chaos on WESTJET Flight 436 as Calgary police officers boarded the plane. At the center of it all, the Chowdhury family. They say things spiraled out of control when crew members demanded their very young daughters put on a mask or they wouldn't be able to take off. Eventually, it reached the point where the flight was canceled, forcing everyone off the plane. Camilla DiGiuseppe joins us now with more. And Cam, the family says they were not just humiliated, but their youngest daughter wasn't even required to wear a mask.
Well, Tara, we spoke to Stefan Chowdhury today. He, his wife, and his 2 young girls, aged 19 months and 3 years old, were supposed to be in Toronto by now, but instead tonight they are still stuck in Calgary. He says a crew member had approached his family to say that both children had to put on masks. He says his 3-year-old fussed, eventually though calmed down with her mask on, but that their 19-month-old turned hysterical. Chowdhury says he and other passengers challenged the crew, who were telling the family that under Transport Canada, masks were required on the kids or they could not fly. But according to the Government of Canada website, children under 2 are exempt from wearing masks on planes. Chowdhury says things escalated when Calgary police officers showed up, and while his wife struggled to fasten the mask, their 19-month-old threw up. According to Chowdhury, police eventually checked their IDs and ages and apologized for the way they were treated, but it was already too late. The flight was deplaned and canceled altogether, which drew the ire of some passengers, understandably, but also support for the family. Ultimately, Chowdhury says, as one of Canada's biggest airlines, WESTJET should have set a better example.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, just have a little
Turnabout.
Right, so Olive, found something interesting. So, when did you start doing online dating? What about this? Well, I don't think it matters how I found the website. What is important is your profile page. What's this all about? Firstly, in no way is that a current photo. And this date of birth, that means you're 3.5. Now, I know it's dog years, it's still wrong. Also, what about these? It says you were a runner-up at Crufts. No, you weren't. And you've been working as an explosive detection dog. You can't even find that tennis ball in the flower bed. And you starred in the stage adaptation of Marley and Me. As what? As John. But the owner? That doesn't even make sense. Now, unsurprisingly, you've got over 7,300,000 requests. Well done you. Might as well click on that. There we are. Click on that and you'll see your #1 match. Oh, for God's sake. What, you're doing this as well? You just want a bit of company now and again. Okay, well, since we're here, let's have a look. Right, you own a small, slightly chewed twig and a squeaky Christmas pudding. See, at least this is accurate. Oh no, hang on, here we go. What, you worked at NASA for 3 years? That's nonsense. I mean, it was 18 months tops. You too. You deserve each other. Yes, I love you too.
RoboCop. Who is he? What is he? Where does he come from? He is OCP's newest soldier in their revolutionary crime management program. OCP spokesman claimed that the fearless machine has crooks on the run in Old Detroit. Today, kids at Lee Iacocca Elementary School got to meet in person what their parents only read about in comic books.
Robo, excuse me, Robo. Any special message for all the kids watching at home?
Stay out of trouble.
This is Media Break. You give us 3 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
Good morning. I'm Casey Wong with Jess Perkins. Top story, Pretoria. The threat of nuclear confrontation in South Africa escalated today when the ruling white military government of that besieged city-state unveiled a French-made neutron bomb and affirmed its willingness to use the 3-megaton device as the city's last line of defense.
And the president's first press conference from the Star Wars orbiting peace platform got off to a shaky start when power failed, causing a brief but harmless period of weightlessness for the visiting president and his staff.
More fighting in the Mexican crisis today when American troops participated in a joint raid with Mexican nationals against rebel rocket positions in Acapulco.
Police union representatives and OCP continue negotiations today in hopes of averting a citywide strike by police scheduled to begin tomorrow at midnight. Justin Ballard-Watkins has more.
They're still on duty, but what about tomorrow? That's the question we put to people in the crime-plagued Lexington area.
They're public servants. They got job security. They're not supposed to strike.
It's a free society. Except there ain't nothing free, because there's no guarantees, you know? You're on your own. It's a lot of jungle.
With the idea of the first sex symbol that you noticed. For many, I think it was
Farrah Fawcett, that poster that plastered on so many walls. If you're the generation before fancying Farrah, I think frankly even a touch older than me, you might remember the really naughty detective series, The Avengers. John Steed was the name of the lead detective. His partner in crime, Emma Peel, a genuine force, also sported a slew of skin-tight outfits. It turned Diana Rigg into a worldwide sex symbol. She was later picked to be a Bond girl on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now, if all of that seems a little dated to you, Diana found stardom yet again in Game of Thrones opposite Peter Dinklage. Here, her character's name is Lady Olenna Tyrell. We've lost Diana Rigg, 82 years of age. The BBC reporting her passing. So many online reactions brewing. This is from a writer in New York named Mark Harris, a columnist for New York Magazine. 2 years ago, I sat next to Diana Rigg at a Tony's party. She was in My Fair Lady at 80. She told me it was a great role because she could get tons of reading done between the scenes. Then she gave me her phone and said, "Find Uber on this and get me the hell out of here." Rest in peace to a great. Another fan said this: "Just seen on TV that Diana Rigg has died. Not fair, not fair, not fair. Just as she made her lovely comeback on TV, I shall miss her. The one and only true Mrs. Peel, Avengers girl."
This was a Cat in a Box production, 2020.